I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-magob, it's time for the only news that matters. And Ace Frehley says he received an apology from the producer who claimed that he has written 97% of Ace's new album, 10,000 Volts. Frehley's co-wrote the album with Trickster's guitarist Steve Brown, who also produced the record. Ace said the pair have a great relationship, but that he was shocked to hear Brown tell the Kiss Focus Three Sides of the Coin podcast that he, and not Frehley, had written the overwhelming majority of the music on the album. Frehley tells the Metal Voice, "I got aggravated the other day because I heard that people were saying I didn't write any of the songs on the record and it was all Steve Brown." And Steve, he was doing Three Sides of the Coin, and he kind of confirmed that by saying, yeah, we did 95%, you know, of the music, like he did it. And I was really shocked when he said that because that's not the case. And I called him and he apologized to me. This is too funny. Schmack-a-magob, it's time for the only news that matters. And Ace Frehley says he received an apology from the producer who claimed that he has written 97% of Ace's new album, 10,000 Volts. Frehley's co-wrote the album with Trickster's guitarist Steve Brown, who also produced the record. Ace said the pair have a great relationship, but that he was shocked to hear Brown tell the Kiss Focus Three Sides of the Coin podcast that he, and not Frehley, had written the overwhelming majority of the music on the album. And Frehley tells the Metal Voice, "I got aggravated the other day because I heard that people were saying I didn't write any of the songs on the record and it was all Steve Brown." And Steve, he was doing Three Sides of the Coin, and he kind of confirmed that by saying, yeah, we did 95%, you know, of the music, like he did it. And I was really shocked when he said that because that's not the case. And I called him and he apologized to me. This is too funny. And I was really shocked when he said that because that's not the case. And really, I don't care if he did come up with 95% of the album. Even if the album was good, even if I loved this album and 95 was brought by Steve Brown, I'd be like, yeah, keep working with him. It doesn't matter to me. You know, in the same interview, Ace talked about how, you know, a lot of Kiss Alive was recorded, you know, in the studio, and I really don't care. It's still the greatest Kiss album that features the four original members in my mind. None of that, the fake live noises that were in loops and all that Ace talked about, none of that matters. To me, it's an awesome live album. It sounds live to me, always sounded live to me. Then I hear, 10, 20 years ago, it wasn't completely live, except for Peter Criss's drum track. That is all live. Peter Criss didn't have to add anything to Kiss Alive after he played those shows, but it doesn't matter to me. I know it matters to a lot of people out there, which is just strange to me. Because if everybody did not know these things, they'd like it more. Oh, I found out it's not completely live. I don't like it as much as I did before I knew this. It makes no sense to me, you know, because you too many people are biased out there with all the inside stuff with albums and this and that. Hey man, to me, if the album's good, the album's good, period. I don't care what went behind it. It's like I get a sub. I go to Subway and I get a sub, and the guy that makes me a sub is a complete scumbag piece of crap that just shouldn't be alive, should have been a cum stain, a horrible, horrible person. And he makes me a sub that's goddamn delicious. Hey, he sucks, but the sandwich he made me was fucking awesome. And that's how I judge music, man. I judge music by music. Gasp. That's right. I judge it with what I hear, not with what happened behind the scenes. You know, oh, that happened, oh, this and that. Oh my God, too many people are so anal. But that's okay. You all end up not enjoying stuff because of inside stuff all you want, while I continue to love it. For me, all my live albums are touched up. Every single favorite. If I was to make a top 10 greatest live albums, which I have done on this channel, I bet you anything, all of them are touched up, or at least a majority of them are touched up. Because honestly, that's my favorite live albums, the ones that are touched up. Speak of the Devil, Ozzy, amazing, amazing. Kiss Alive 2, amazing. Strangers in the Night, UFO, yes, that was touched up, amazing. Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous, yes, touched up, amazing. My favorite live albums, man, they're all touched up, and I love it. I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass. Now, Ace is strongly denying online accusation that he wasn't the main guitar player on his new album. Since it was released last month, some fans online have suggested that it was producer and founder Trickster guitarist Steve Brown who actually handled the majority of the guitar work on the record. Ace says, wow, listen to previous albums by Steve Brown. Do they sound like this record? I don't think so. Number one, I'm doing all the vocals. Number two, I'm doing the majority of the solos. And, you know, Steve Brown grew up idolizing me. And he's a wonderful human being and a great producer and a great engineer and a great guitar player and singer and songwriter. And working with him was such a pleasure. Sometimes he comes up with his solo ideas and I'd recreate it because he's been studying my guitar style since he was a little kid, you know? Frehley does concede that the album contains some lead work from Brown, echoing comments he made during a recent appearance on the Shout It Out Loudcast. He says, yeah, he's only 50 or 51. I'm 72. A couple of times he laid down a solo, but he plays it like me, in my style, because he studied my style his whole life. As far as I'm concerned, it really doesn't matter who plays what, you know? As long as the cut sounds great. A couple of them I thought Steve laid down so well that I said, let's keep it. But that's as far as that goes. I played the majority of the guitar solos on the record, absolutely. In addition to producing 10,000 Volts and co-writing all but one of its original songs, Brown handled most of the album's background vocals. It was great, Ace says. I was very flattered, you know, how he told me his two biggest influences was me and Eddie Van Halen. May he rest in peace. And so it was his dream to work with me. Once I realized his talent and his ability as a writer and an engineer and a guitarist, songwriter, and singer, you know, he did most of the background vocals on the record. If not all of them. Of course, we doubled our vocals, but everybody does that. I mean, Kiss was doing that in the 70s. That's a process that has been going on for rock and roll for 40, 50 years. After more than 50 years in the spotlight, Frehley is taking the recent online discourse in stride. He says, people are going to say something that's going to start things off, you know? And I've read dozens of comments where people say his vocals are too good. He's probably auto-tuned the majority of them. Who the hell said that? He said, yeah, you can ask me and you can ask Steve Brown. We didn't auto-tune any of my vocals. Duh. I have perfect pitch. Now, I'm not the greatest singer in the world, but everybody who hears me knows it's me. I have a certain vocal style. Yeah. You know, he's currently on the road supporting 10,000 volts, and you can get the most up-to-date tour and ticket information at his website if you want. My God. You know, Ace does have a unique vocal style that I haven't heard in a long, long time. You know, and his vocals have deteriorated quite a bit. Not that he had great vocals to start with, but he had a unique killer vocal style where I don't hear it at all on this record. You know, Steve Brown should have done the lead vocals. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he sucks too. I don't know how he sounds. But all I know is that a lot of these songs, Ace sounds lazy. It's almost like he's just talking. You know, it's not singing to me, you know. Except a couple tunes, you know, it's okay, but yeah, anyway. And when I did my review, I thought, listening to the album for the first time, I thought, yeah, I think this ain't Ace. It sounds like Ace, but it sounds a little too precise, like what Tommy Thayer does that I don't like. Plays Ace too perfect, no sloppiness, no soul. I hear some of that. I did hear some of that. I remember in the instrumental, which I liked a lot. But some of those solos, it sounded like it's somebody playing like Ace. That's what I think. What do you all think? Leave it in the comments below. Do you think Steve Brown wrote most of the album? Leave it in the comments below. And Steve Brown apologizing to Ace. That was hysterical. I think it's funny how Ace just brings that up in an interview. He's whacked out of his brain. Anyway, that's it for the only news that matters. I do thank you all for watching. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And ring that little notification bell. And in case you are subscribed, please check to see if you're still subscribed. Because people are complaining that they're getting unsubscribed for no reason. And I think that really sucks. So if that happened to you, come back, I beg you. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.
Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston. And so never more shall we see you again.